Hey, it's Sarah, and I'm back again today to talk about interviews. So, this is a huge part of getting a job, and it's something that I've done a lot. And I want to share with you the top 3 things you need to think about when you're going into an interview. Number 1, always be honest. So, one time I had an interview when I was pregnant, but I wasn't like super pregnant. And when I went to the interview, I made sure to bring it up. Nobody asked me, but I made sure to bring it up and say, I'm pregnant. I just want to let you know I'm due in November. I'm going to have a kid. And they were very nice, but I feel like I could read their faces, and I felt like it did impact the interview because I wasn't offered a job. And it kind of made me sad because I thought maybe that had an impact on me not getting a job, but I'd rather not be a liar or even lie by omission, because I could have pretended that I wasn't pregnant. But I would have had to go on maternity leave within the next 4 months. And that's a really rough thing to do to an employer. So always be honest if you're pregnant, if there's something going on in your life. You want to have a really good relationship with your school district. You don't want to be hiding things from them. And you also want, and actually, they will want you if you're pregnant, if they really like you. They don't care about that. And actually, if I was to have gotten an offer from them as a pregnant speech pathologist, that would have been really wonderful. But and it would have showed me that they really just wanted me. So that's my number 1 tip. Number 2, I would say, is actually prepare. So it's really important to run over some interview questions. I have a whole blog post with a bunch of interview questions. I'll link to it down below. So go ahead and pop over there and look at some of the interview questions that people ask, because you don't want to be caught off guard. Now, on the other hand, one of the great things is if you prepare, there are some answers that you can manipulate to fit other questions. And so there have been times where I've certainly had trouble answering a question, and then I've remembered, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this if I was asked that, so I'm going to talk about that here. You can segue into a new topic. Number 3, and this is probably the most important thing you have to remember when it comes to interviewing. Don't take it personally if you don't get the job. And I had interviewed for this job right by my house. Actually, I've interviewed by 2 jobs, 2 different districts right by my house. I thought I was the perfect candidate. And both of those interviews went okay. I remember thinking they didn't go great, but I also thought, looking at my resume, I feel like, maybe I have a little too much overconfidence. But I thought for sure I would get both of those jobs, and I didn't. They passed on me. And it's really tempting to take it personally, to say, obviously there's something wrong with me, or there's something blah, blah, blah. But when I really examined in one of the interviews, I thought, they didn't need anybody that spoke Spanish. Even though there were a lot of strengths that I have in my profile, somebody who speaks Spanish, who's bilingual, that's not what they needed. I wasn't the right fit for that job from their eyes. I think it would have been great. I just would have never been able to use my Spanish, which also would have been a loss. So when you get passed over for a job, don't think to yourself, oh my gosh, it must be something wrong with me. I hate them. How awful that they passed on me. I hate, it's very tempting to go down that road. Don't do it. They found somebody else that was a better fit. It wasn't meant to be. It might have been a really bad fit, and you're going to find something better. And I'd also like to add that as speech pathologists and teachers and educators, we often take this job we have and we put it on ourselves as us. So we take it into our personality. So that's why it's easy to take it the wrong way when somebody says, we don't want you for this job. It's a personal rejection. It feels like that, but it's really not. I might be a speech pathologist, but that's not my core identity. My core identity is me, Sarah. I know who I am. And even though my work as a speech pathologist, that doesn't mean it's something I have to take in if I get rejected in a way. So yeah, keep that in mind. I think it's actually more healthy to separate yourself from your job and not take it on as any like a core part of you. It's certainly part of you, but it's not the whole you. So yeah, that's the best way to move forward with this profession. So you never lose yourself, and you don't want to do that. You want to always maintain full control of who you are, and speech pathology is what you do. So I hope that makes sense. I hope this helps you. And in the next video, I actually filmed it several weeks ago, all about salary negotiation. So hang in there, that one's coming tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Thanks so much.